does that even mean, Bauer's Game Corner?
Here, YouTube, I'm back again today for another How to Play video, and today I'm going to teach you how to play now. This is for 3 to 8 players, ages 8 plus. It'll take you 15 minutes to play. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to separate out the cards into the 9 different piles. There'll be 8 colors, and then one big stack with an exclamation point on it. Now, each player is going to take one of the colored stacks of cards, and they're going to place it in front of them. The rest of them can go back in the box. You will not need them. So we're going to set up a 3-player game. You're going to shuffle your stack and leave it face down in front of you. Now, with the exclamation point cards, you're going to find the one card in the game that looks like this. Let's say refresh card. The rest are going to be numbers. You're going to shuffle these ones up, and you're going to slide that one roughly in the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now, someone is going to flip over the top 3 cards of this exclamation pile. And you're going to do that at the beginning of every single round. You're always going to flip over 3 additional cards. And everyone's going to say, go! Then what's going to happen is everyone is going to grab their cards like a cell phone and secretly look at the number on their cards. If you're happy with that number, you just say now, and you put it face down. You don't look at it again until everyone else is ready to flip over their cards. But for now, let's explain why you'd want to keep a card. So what you're trying to do is win cards out here by getting as close as you can to the number without going over it. AKA the Price is Right rules. So right now, I would pretty much lock in most likely 108 and 112. But that's not necessarily a great thing because scoring-wise, at the end of the game, whichever color you have the most points in, you're going to take that number minus the other color's points you have. So for instance, if I collected these 2, I would now have 1 point because I'd have 4 red and 3 blue. Unless, of course, someone played 108 on me, in which case they would for sure win 108. That's called a perfect, but we'll explain that a little bit later. So seeing that I don't really want to win both those cards, instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to discard this card and place it face down in front of me. And I can do this as many times as I want or as fast as I want, but I don't get to pick up these cards until that one that's in the middle pops up. So yeah, if you really wanted to, you could just go, hey, I'm getting the perfect card, I'm going to get the perfect card, and then you get down to your last card, and well, guess what? You can't get rid of it anymore. You just have to be 116 every single round, and let me tell you, that sucks. So, for instance, if I was actually this player, I'd say, no, I don't want that, I don't want that. I'd say, you know what, I'm happy with this now. Now, the reason I stopped there is because you don't want to go through too many of your cards, and I figure I got a puncher's chance again, this 36. Now, the other thing you need to know is that every other player at the table is also doing this exact thing at the exact same time. They're trying to do it fast. Because once and only one player is not now, so this player says now, this player says now, the final player gets to look at one more card. So essentially they have to decide if they want to keep the card they have face up right now, which nobody sees, or flip over one more and keep that one. But let's reveal and show you how it works. This player had 92, this player had 118, this player had 20. This player went over completely, so they don't win anything. This player's at 92, so they would win the 108 and the 112. And these go face up in front of you. They are not necessarily public knowledge, though. The rules specifically say that you just have 2 piles in front of you. And then this green player with the 20 would win the 36, and this would go in front of them. So at the end of this round, green players actually feeling pretty good. Now, every player is then going to pick up their cards like normal, and you're not actually going to discard your top card because you might use it for the next round, which will start after 3 additional cards are revealed to the center, and everyone says go. And yes, you can have more than 3 cards out in the center. Now, once the refresh card eventually pops out, you immediately stop the game pretty much. And everyone is going to take all the cards that they've discarded and they're going to shuffle them into their hand. So you will have all your cards for the remainder of the game. But this is the only time you will get to reshuffle. So use your cards wisely. Now the refresh symbol also goes out there. And this is an awesome card because it could be either 3 blue or 3 red in endgame scoring. And how you win this is by getting a perfect. And you get a perfect when you have the exact number that is out. So for instance, if a player played 76, they would get the 76, they would get the perfect, and they would most likely get the 88, as long as no one played anything between 77 to 88. And on the off chance that 2 people play a perfect at the same time, let's say somebody played a 16, somebody played a 76, nobody gets it, it just gets discarded. But you're going to keep doing this until the final round begins when the last 3 cards are played down, and at the end of that round, any cards that are still left in the center are just discarded. And you score your points by looking at the cards you have in your 2 piles that should be in front of you. Now, at this point, you could also decide if you want to move your wilds either to be red or to be blue. Or if we were to say, do this and flip those over to blue instead, we'd be getting 4, 6, 9, 12 minus 4. We'd be getting 8 points. So at the end of the game, you get to decide which way you want to use your wild cards. And the person with the highest score wins the game. If there's a tie, the player with the most points total wins, and if there's still a tie, shared victory. There also is a 2-player variant you can try, or you can just add an extra AI player if you want to. Instead of putting extra colors back in the box, you just set one of the extra colors off to the side. Their name is Bauer, and once everyone said now, and they have their cards face down ready to reveal, Bauer is also going to reveal a card, and you just, whatever Bauer wins, Bauer gets, and you could potentially lose to Bauer. But that's how you're going to play now. If this helped you out, please consider giving it a thumb or clicking on that But that's how you play now. If this helped you out, please consider giving it a thumb. But that's how you play now. Please consider. But that's how you play now. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumb. Go have some fun.